What's going on YouTube? Bladezilla here, and we are checking out a pretty cool one. This is the first knife that I've got to check out from my friends over at Recon 1. It's their house brand, Reconnaissance Celebrate the Grind Adzin Flipper, which I can't actually tilt that up unless the camera will focus. Oh, it's like an inch from the lens to give you an idea. Adzin Flipper, M390 blasted with BZ. I don't know what the BZ means, but we've got a little story on the back here, which is pretty cool if you want to pause and read it. You know, just a cool little thing. You know, Recon 1 is one of my go-to sites that I visit frequently, and obviously get some stuff from them. And I really like the guys, and you know, they've come out with this house brand knife. And I'm really excited to show you kind of what they think that you know, their customers are looking for. Kind of comes in this cool sleeve, as you know, which is whatever. The magnetized box opens up, and a beautiful zippered case, which I am not going to complain about. This guy will be for sale as well on the site on bladezilla.ca. Reminder, this conversation is more just it's not an in-depth review with specifics. I'm just showing you the knife, kind of going through it together, and seeing what we got. Presentation is top-notch. Oh, there we go. Nice kind of like wool inside. That's nice. Nice touch. Anything to kind of make this guy shine. Now, this is a Reate made knife, but I'm looking at this going, there is a lot of Shirogorov influence in this, specifically the back spacer. Moreover, that lanyard spot there, boy is that ever a Shiro design. Just the curve of the handle really reminds me of a Shiro. We've got a nice little flipper tab, and I'm looking at that going, it's kind of got a top. The best way to describe that flipper tab is it looks like the tip of it broke off. And it's obviously not. It's by design, but it is very small and tucked in there, which is nice. But some really aggressive jimping on what looks to be both the top as well as the front. Let's fire this out, see how she feels. Ooh, that came up quick. That's got some real nice action. I am pleasantly surprised by this. Wow, I was not expecting that. We've got a nice, it looks like a blasted handle, both sides. This guy's available in a number of different configurations. This particular one's M390. Are they numbered? I don't think they're numbered, that I can tell, and I don't see why they would be. But my God, that's smooth. It's got to be running on bearings, I would assume. It's just too smooth. We've got a nice, you know what, let's not go into too much detail here. I will, but let's start things off, show the knife, and let's get a thumbnail. There we go. Let's show you the knife, measure it up, and kind of go into it here. So there we go. I think they are, what are they saying? I'm guessing 3.5 inch, maybe a little smaller. It's not, it's a little stubby. 3 and, I think it's 3.5 inch to the end of the choil there, but I'd probably go a little less, maybe 3 3/8 to the sharpened, and then, you know, 7 5/8 or 7 3/4, depending on how you want to kind of measure that lanyard spot. So, you know, a great EDC size. Just because I've got a couple knives in the queue right now, I would probably say it's very similar actually to the CKF Gnome in size, which is surprisingly, I'd have it here right now, but very similar size-wise. CKF's just a little bit bigger. We will take out the Sebenza Bros and do a comparison to give you the large, Sebenza 31, and as always, the small. There you go, to give you a size. So it's kind of between those two, more on the larger side, but definitely a excellent size. Compared to a couple knives in this kind of category. Well, this guy is, I want to say, like 300 or 350 bucks. Because it is Reate made, that is a hell of a deal for this kind of action. Titanium M390. Ooh. Like, I can't describe how effortless this is right now. Effortless this is from the Reconnaissance. Ooh, that is just filthy smooth. And I bet you that breaks in real nice too. D10's not as snappy. It's not as sharp as some of the others, but it is, ooh, it's not going anywhere or anything like that. I love this one. This is great. Okay, well, let's talk about this nice knife. So Reconnaissance. So first things first, I've got extra large hands. My hand fits, don't have anything poking off. No issues there. I'd probably say this is a really good size large hand, or even a medium large. It's got a very locked in feel by the shape of that flipper tab and how it protrudes there. But real nice curves. We've got a 3-position curve to the handle here. One for your front finger. Let's check the balance. It's balanced, which is nice. And then second finger, and then your back too. That's really well thought out. They did that well. It fits very, very nice. For me, the jimping's a little further back than I'd like. I'd kind of like it probably about there. But it is, that's why I'm saying it's kind of a size large, medium large. And nice little R, their little logo there. That looks sharp. And then on the actual flats, it looks like it's kind of got a nice grind line to it. And then is it very flat? Yeah, it looks like a flat grind. That's an interesting blade. Look at how this kind of goes from nice and wide, nice. You can choke up on that real nice. But it's flat, and then it pinches in on the tip here, and then widens back out. Because as you know, you bring this edge back out here wider to strengthen the tip. To add some material there. That's smart. But it's kind of got some lines on it, like right here. I don't know how well the light's going to pick this up, but there's a line that kind of separates this, the flat here, from that. And that looks great in the light. As it kind of moves around from the side, maybe you see it better. But you see what I'm saying? That looks great. Just, it's a sharp looking knife. This particular version has kind of this gold, bronze, little pivot collar or pivot thing going on, which to me looks like it's Torx. I don't know, maybe T8 or 6. I'm assuming 8. Without checking, which matches both the back here as well as the back spacer. I don't know the material of that. Blasted titanium frame with zirconium presentation scale. Sorry, that is a different model. I've just kind of got Recon 1 on the side here to kind of get some details. So yeah, they do make a Zirc presentation scale version of this one. But I believe the gold one and the blue one are the same exact knife, just with blue or gold. Bronze anodized titanium backspacer. So bronze titanium backspacer, that's cool. But yeah, it's obviously just a titanium both sides on presentation and lock bar side. Do we have a over travel? Yes, we do, as is customary. And I like how they've even matched this right in here. Everything, like the pocket clip is matched to the pivot, matched to the little screw for the over travel stop, matched back here. That's smart. This is a really well thought out design, and I don't know why this is like the Shiro influence to me. That little lanyard hole there is so, it just screams Shiro. And I don't know why, but let's see. Here's a neon. Do you see any similarities there? See what I'm saying? It's like the same thing. In the Shiro size comparison, let's get a couple going here because, well, quite frankly, we can right now. So let's go with a Neon Zero for size comparison. I know the camera's going to make this look bigger because this is actually closer, but it's the Adzin is actually a little bit bigger. And then we can go with the standard F95 to give you the size comparison, or why don't we slip Stellar as well in there because it's very stellar-y. But let's make them. I don't want any of these to touch. There we go. So there's your size comparison. It's very Stellar-esque, but well, maybe it's kind of between. I would have thought in hand it was a Stellar, but looking at these now laid out, it's closer to the Neon than it is the Stellar, which is crazy to me. I did not think that. It feels bigger in hand than I thought, but once again, you know, I said it was a medium-large knife, and lo and behold, once I start comparing it with others, somehow we end up there. It's got to be milled out on the inside, I would imagine. It's just too light for me. So let's grab my little light here and take a look, as we always kind of do. Let's take a look. Yep, it's all milled out. Very light, not a super deep mill, but there you go. Let's actually use the right side. Yeah, as you can kind of see, we got some pockets, some big pockets of milling, and deeper towards the back, so they're obviously doing some balancing, which looks good. And then one thing that I love, the backspacer on this. I cannot begin to describe how much, when I opened this and saw this, I'm just going, God damn, that looks so good. I absolutely love that. And I love it how they could have done this simple. This is a $295 US list knife. It's going to be more expensive in Canada, obviously. But this could easily be just flat and do nothing particularly special on it. You could, like, you don't have to do any of this extra milling work, but look what they did. They've got a nice little concave bowl in it, and then shaping it with a swedge to a tip, and then putting some even further jimping on the back. And I don't know, I'm guessing, like, would that be for your thumb, do you think, on like a reverse grip? Yeah, that's what it's for, right? It just lands naturally right there. That is clever. We do have a metal lock bar insert as well. Obviously, that's not just for wear. That's to tune the material from titanium to M390, which I believe this is. Yeah, M390, which is stated on the blade. You know, I'm telling you guys, this might be like the best value house brand knife that I've ever had. It's like, to me, this is like your, I got to be careful what I say here because it's not how I feel, but it's like you took a Shirogorov, right? And you're doing it for half the price. And I'm not going to say just as well because it's not. But it's damn close. You know, Shiro, the difference would be they'd have milling lines, right? And a little more rounding, and a little more detail work. But, you know, you're centered, you've got a nice gap there. That would be a little tighter. You know, obviously have a couple different pivots, yada yada. That's done damn well. Another little detail I notice here, obviously that pocket clip. So you're looking at right around, that's how much you're going to be in your pocket sticking out. But once again, this guy is the same style as the Shiro in that it angles off onto this side of the frame rather than push onto the lock bar. It's very light though. Comes out super easy. I can already feel it getting smoother as we go. Ooh, that is a very well done knife. And we even have the cutout here on the top for your finger to fall into. Just like Shiro. the same thing. So let's see how real. You see what I'm saying here is when you fire it out. See if the camera will focus. When you fire it out, you've got a nice little spot for your finger to go. Yep. Terrific. Yeah, I really, you know, I'm impressed because they've matched all the little hardware components. They obviously didn't come with any additional, like a CKF would, which is fine, but it's a Reate knife, so I'm assuming a lot of there's going to be some interchangeability, and Recon will probably stock some of the parts, I would hope. But there's a lot of little details done very, very well on this knife. You know, it's blasted. I wish it was a little smoother, and maybe they have a version of this knife that's like maybe, I think, $100 US more. And I think with that you get that show side scale Zerk or something. But I'd like to feel what this would be like with a glass blast on it. Just kind of smooth it out. It's very subtle. It's not as rough as like a Chris Reeves sandblast. But yeah, a lot of the details are done right. You've got that little cutout on the lock bar. Is it raised? Then I don't think it's raised. You'd be the judge of that. But you can see all the rounding on the edges. And then that nice soft spot for your thumb to just fall into. They have done this. I'm actually blown away at how well they've done this. Beautiful pocket clip, less is more, super simple design. The gold is very subtle as well. I was worried that it'd be kind of yellow and loud, and it's very subdued, more of a flat kind of color to it. The Reconnaissance logo is nice, kind of just fits in there, real smooth, nothing too crazy. That's nice. And then on the other side of the blade, we just have that M390 in. That's it. Nothing too crazy. Size-wise, like I said, it holds my hand well. I'm going to start leaning more to a medium large versus an XL. Although it holds my hand just fine, I definitely can see it being. If you've got XL plus, it's going to feel a little small, but it's also not a big knife. It's not meant to be a big knife. It's a start, I think, for them. I don't know what minimum order quantity is. I would imagine 50 or 100 knives. So, you're going to kind of just hit that 3.5 inch kind of sweet spot-ish right off the hop and test out the manufacturing and see what they can kind of come in with. And, dude, they have done this so well. I'm like frazzled at how well they've done this for the price point. Like, you show me a knife that's better than this for $300 US. The overseas guys like Reate and have I been saying Reate? Oh, it is Reate. That's right. For some reason I had Best Tech in my head, but it's definitely not Best Tech. It's a Reate knife. I can tell. But yeah, very Shiro influenced. Beautiful blade. You know what? If anyone's going to pick one of these up, it's at a price point. Just pick one up and put it in your hand and flip it and feel it. You're not going to be disappointed for one. But two, you're going to be like, why am I buying a Shirogorov again for double the price? Because this feels very similar to one. And the bearings on this, I'm not going to open this one up. This one's going on bladezilla.ca. But it's like that's got to be on bearings, and it's just a standard. It's probably a single row bearing. Nice thick stops. I love the dual kind of row jimping. I don't know what they'd call that, but kind of like a, it's just two spots, right? Because it's a shallow flipper tab. And if you look at, I don't want to keep saying an F95 because it's more in line with a Neon. You look at the difference in the size of that flipper tab because it is pulled back, right? Whereas the Quantums are off the top. It's pulled back, but you remember how I said at the start of the video how it looks like a flipper tab that's like broken? That's a smart idea because now you're taking the tab, you're knocking it down and you're putting a second row of kind of some traction on there, versus the tip on this guy is like all the jimping on the back side of it, and that's, you know, an excellence. This is a master class in ergos, the neons. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them, but I like that. That's a smart little idea, because now you can kind of push down and open it, or you can drag. That's smart. And then the same jimping is now holding you on the inside here. That's clever. I like that. They did a good job. In case you don't know, I'm not sucking up to Recon 1. I paid for this knife, and full pop, and I think they did a killer job. The detail work, it's got a lot going on it. I'm trying to figure it out. So beautiful. I want us to know. I'm curious, because the Shiragorovs are very sensitive to lock bar pressure, and obviously they've taken that clip and weighted it over here, so I'd love to kind of just put some weight on that and see. Yeah, same thing, same style. So you can see, put a little pressure on it, try to launch it, it's not going anywhere. Take the weight off. Oof, pops right out. Lock up is a little more than a Shiro, I'd say. I can get in there and show that. It's a little bit more than a standard Shiro, and what I'll do is I'll grab that neon again and kind of show you what I'm referring to, because they're very light on their lockup, typically. Oh, let's not bump these things together and make a stellar. But yeah, very nice, very nicely done. God, they're knocking these things out of the park. I am so floored. I just did not think that I'd be feeling this kind of quality on a blade that you know, is at a price point that's like marginally above like a Benchmade. You know, a bug out now is like $200, and you're getting G10 handles on an axis lock that no one wants, that will rock itself loose. This is a full tie frame lock knife with anodized or whatever I think, I'm guessing anodized hardware that is just done super well. Really impressed. All right, guys. Well, thanks for stopping by. That is the Reconnaissance Adzin Flipper. And if you have any questions, leave them below. Otherwise, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Otherwise, I will go throw this on the site, and you're more than welcome to check it out. Take a look at some pictures and whatnot, and hopefully the video has done it justice, and I have not bored you for now 23 minutes more than I didn't mean to. Alright, well, that is where I'm going to leave it off. And yeah, thanks for stopping by, guys. Talk later. Cheers.